Hello, I'm Elijah. In this final video, let's get straight to the point. Despite the Hollywood blockbuster-like title, The Secret Gospel of Mark, often referred to by the acronym SGM, is a hoax. So don't make Pat's mistake by getting too excited over this dubious non-discovery. In fairness to its fabricator Morton Smith, who was a known prankster, an occultist with an obsession for ritual and tantric sexual practices in mystery cults, and a homosexual activist with a taste for young men and sex in public parks, it was never intended to be anything other than an elaborate practical joke at the expense of the conservative establishment of the 1950s, which he hated for its alleged mistreatment of his fellow homosexuals. According to Smith, SGM, found in the Marsaba Monastery's library, implies that Jesus had sex with a man in a public park, not the old tried and tested kind, but ritualistic tantric sex. A hocus-pocus approach to knocking boots. If correct, Smith uncovered a version of Jesus which complies entirely with his own lifestyle, as well as the assertions he had made in his previous publications, sharing Smith's penchant for men, myths, and magic. What were the chances? With buccaneer-like audacity, Smith based his hoax on the plotline to a book entitled The Mystery of Marsaba, a work of fiction written by J.H. Hunter, first published in 1940, in which an anti-Christian fanatic cooks up a story to shake the world, discredit Jesus and destroy Christianity. The fiend plans this forgery, purportedly the work of Nicodemus, in, wait for it, the Marsaba Library. This is Smith's find imitating not only his own life, but our too, and so faithfully. Fairly popular, the book remained in print for 3 decades. With the preceding information in mind, now consider that no physical copy of SGM exists, and that the letter which Smith attributed to Clement of Alexandria was never viewed, handled, and studied by any scholar other than Smith. No reference to SGM has ever been found outside of the letter, but even that has vanished without a trace. Are you getting suspicious yet? Employing Condell's wishful thinking for a moment, let's put aside the facts, and pretend SGM is real. Here we have what would be the equivalent of the Holy Grail for historians, liberal theologians, and academia at large, having the potential to change world history. Does signing the pages, photographing and then replacing them to simply disappear later on, sound like due academic procedure? Does it sound like appropriate treatment for a text found in the library of the world's oldest monastery? No. Yet Smith's signature, along with the manuscript number he assigned it, can be seen in the margin of at least one of the pages he photographed. The pages were replaced, and they disappeared. Very odd. It gets worse. Even the book in which the 3 pages of the allegedly Clementine letter were discovered, Epistolae Genuni, Assignatia Martyris, is itself incongruous, prompting suggestions that it was a plant. The book concerns a controversy between Catholics and Protestants, a bizarre find in an Orthodox monastery. It becomes all the more suspicious when we learn that Smith had been to Marsaba on at least one previous occasion in the 1940s. Indications of a hoax just keep on coming. We find Clement speaking about the adulteration of truth with falsehoods in terms of salt losing its savor. If Smith had intended his so-called discovery to be more than an elaborate hoax, this would have been a major mistake, as the analogy makes sense only in relation to granulated salt. Salt in Clement's era was purchased and broken into lumps on site. The idea of adulterating a lump is absurd. And granulated salt wasn't available until 1910 when the Morton Salt Company, that's right, the Morton Salt Company, developed the anti-caking agent used in table salt. Add a number of other forgers' signatures, one cited in the sources which I've included in the description to this video, and we start to see why no credible scholars believe SGM to have ever existed, to be an authentic mark in writing, or to be part of a genuine Gnostic gospel. It's Smith's ode to his homoerotic imagination in a Gnostic heresy, namely, the Carpocratians. Gnosticism is a fusion of occult mysticism, pagan philosophy and selected Bible verses, which have been entirely removed from their scriptural context and meaning, the legacy of which can be seen in many of the pagan practices, so integral to the institutionalized descendant of the Gnostic heresy, the Catholic Church. Even if we pretend, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that SGM is authentic, what startling revelations do we glean from it concerning Rabbi Yeshua, the historical Jesus? Nothing. Clement states, contrary to what Pat claims, that it does not contain the words naked male with naked male, or any other form of sexual innuendo. The SGM portrays Jesus spending the night with a man, but so what? Pat conveniently neglects to disclose that the other disciples are described as being present too. Then there's the issue of Jesus taking the man by the hand, yet even today in the Middle East, it is a culturally acceptable custom for a heterosexual man to hold another heterosexual man's hand. As the text of Secret Mark contains no account of any homosexual activity, the only thing we have to go in support of Candell's and Smith's claims is their own perverted exegesis. Perhaps Pat's motive, like Smith's, was to somehow rationalize or legitimize his own homosexuality, latent or actuated, by portraying Jesus, regarded by the vast majority of people of all religious persuasions and none, to be a champion of human morality, as having been gay. Pat wasted our time, neglected the facts, lied about SGM's content, and indulged his personal fantasies a little. But nothing more substantial is offered in his video. Thanks for watching.